we as asset management companies ask you to potentially hire a local gardener, trash out contractor, paint, carpet, utilities, and these get expensive. I was talking to our controller this morning. She indicated it's about a $500 per property outlay for up to 60 days. So if you have 5 or 10 listings, not just with us, but with other companies, it could be 45, 60 days before you're reimbursed.
Right.
And those policies and procedures, you have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know how to submit for reimbursements. It's a lot of paperwork, meaning there's a lot of touch, more so than a standard resale in your neighborhood. You're the property manager. You're responsible for the maintenance of that property so that it shines and sells above the competition that's in the street. So, and I shouldn't say on every single seller, Eric. There are sellers that do have national preservation companies,
right,
which are great. So but not in every situation. So the agent does need to be prepared to not only invest in building their business and opportunity for REO and BPO, but they have to be prepared to float the money as well at times.
Right. So how much, in cash should an agent have in reserves to handle REO? So those who are interested in trying to take on, it could be a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Lifestyle aside, because they're going to have to determine, again, how long did it take me to set up my initial farm when I was approaching this certain community. They've got to get their name out with flyers and et cetera, right?
Right.
So in this situation, just to join the organizations and be prepared for listings and maybe a little bit of travel,
mm-hmm.
10,000, I suppose. That's without putting a pencil to. That's just off the back of my napkin. So,
right.
And maybe less. It could be 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to sharpen my pencil a little bit.
Right.
But I would imagine it's the same as starting any farm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've got printing costs. You've got advertising in your local community. You've got to spend your time knowing people and visiting different areas to get into relationship with that community to get your name out, and that's what you're doing here. This is a REO area, BPO area, and appraisal area is a community.
Right.
And that's how you have to visualize it. It's a farm.
Right. Well, this has been, really informative, and we're going to now ask the operator to give instructions to ask questions, and hopefully, Roger, you can hang with us for another, say, 15 minutes at the most, and we can get a few questions in. There's a lot of people on the line, and we'd like to talk with you. So let's go, operator.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question or a comment, please press star and then 1 on your touch-tone telephone. Once again, if you have a question or a comment, please press star and then 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If your question has been answered and you wish to be removed from the queue, please press the pound key. And our first question comes from Alicia.
Hi, Eric and Roger. This is Alicia with Cornerstone Real Estate International.
Hey, Alicia. Thanks for being on the call.
Hi. Thank you for putting this together, Eric. I have a question regarding the REO agent scorecard and performance. In the last year of my REOs, I've been a little more concerned because of the DOM, the days on the market, where we do receive usually higher listing prices than our BPO and quite a bit much higher. And so our property has been sitting on the market, and since we monitor our visitors by our super lockbox key, we just don't see a lot of activity. So every month at the end of the month when we do the update on the BPOs, I do indicate that we have very minimum showings, and that's a problem because the prices sit too high. Now, would that really hurt my rating as far as with the REO company, or what is the best thing for an agent in this kind of circumstance to do?
Great question. I knew this question was going to come up, and I've known this for 2 weeks. It's going to come up, and I still don't have the right answer for you. And I apologize for using this answer as it depends. It really depends on who your seller is and what their motivation is. This may be a seller who has to have a specific price, and or they're willing to set it out on the market and stay a while. Again, as Eric asked earlier, the question is, does it hurt your opportunity for future? And it's a business decision that you need to make. I think that your communication with the asset manager that you're working with is very key, stating that not only, yes, I understand on your monthly report what you're stating about the Supra tracking, but I think a verbal conversation, and pardon my bluntness, but don't whine to them, but be very professional and bold with them by stating, asset manager, here's what I'm tracking. I really enjoy working with you. I've sold others for you. I'm selling homes all around the current listing that I have for you, and I see other homes that are selling all around us. What can we do to work together to sell this property? And then you'll get a good flavor from them what their true motivation is. That might say, well, we bought this loan, or we bought that loan, or we bought this REO, or look, this is just our company policy. And then you can come back with your second question and asking, does days on market hurt me for future opportunities? And how am I doing overall with you to earn future business? And I think, you need to be bold. You asked initially, you asked for the business, you were awarded the business, and now you're already asking for more business. You just don't come across that you're asking for more business, Have a purpose for your question.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Alicia. Well, it is a challenging situation, and because agents don't really feel they have the power. It's the asset management has the power to, to give or to take away, and pushing back.
Her
sometimes.
Question is a universal question. It's the right question to ask. It is a difficult question to answer, Eric, because not only each asset management company and or each listing or each owner of that asset that's listing it direct is in a difficult situation, because each asset manager within the asset management company could answer it a little differently.
Right.
And for instance, if we have 5 different sellers that we're representing on 5 different properties, they could have 5 different motivations to their purpose of their listing price.
Right.
And it's a very, very difficult situation. But as mentioned earlier, Alicia and others need to remember, it doesn't matter if it's a listing with an asset management company or the Frasers who are selling their beautiful homes. So its pricing strategy is always a very subjective approach, and so it's one of the most challenging questions any real estate agent, whether it's residential, commercial, leasing, resale, bank-owned, short sale.
Right.
Pricing is always a very, very, very sensitive topic to discuss.
Okay. Operator, next question.
Our next question comes from Vince.
Hi, Eric and Roger. This is Vince Murdoch with First Manhattan Realtors. How are you today?
Excellent, Vince.
Great.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, thanks for putting this together. My question goes to BPOs. I was curious as to what the current volume of BPOs in the Orange County and Los Angeles County marketplace are for LRES for December and January. Just a ballpark.
For our company specifically?
Correct.
OC and LA? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know our specific region outlay is. I know nationally what we complete. But, Vince, I can get back to you. Eric, is there a way I can get back to him on that? Or
Yeah, just send the question by email to Roger, His email is rbeane@lres.com. Or you can call his office, which is on the flyer, and or you can send it to me. I communicate with Roger all the time, and we can get you the answer for that. But Roger, I mean, what do you do? I know we talked yesterday about the number of transactions of BPOs you guys did in 2010, right? That would give us some indication, right, nationally what you do. You do a lot of BPO requests, right?
We do. Let's see, annually, say 50 to 60,000, Eric.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of BPOs.
Well, contrast, I know that the GSEs, for instance, do about that in a month. So
Wow.
It's
Right.
really not that much.
Sure. Well, I mean, for an asset management company, I think that's a lot. But I also know, based on what you're telling me, that you would like to double that yourself, right, with having more assets and business to handle. Yes. So.
Of course. As any entrepreneur, anybody on this call would want to double their business in doing everything that they're doing. So
that's right.
Certainly.
That's right. Vince, does that answer your question, or was there a follow-up on that?
Well, the reason for the question is I got an email from you folks from LRES back a couple months ago and said, we noticed, your fees are a little bit high. If you adjust them, you might get some BPOs. So I did adjust my fees in the system, and never got a BPO after that. And I specialize in Orange County and do a fair amount of BPOs presently, about 150 a month.
Right. Well, Roger, did he make you mad?
No, of course not. I don't know. We don't control where the volume is coming.
Right.
We don't have any idea whether it's where anything is coming. Vince.
I see.
I know that we got a huge batch in Chicago, Philly, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York this week, and those are all buried in snow. So I know we're swimming out of those challenges this week, but
right.
But I have to I'd look to my team to determine where our volumes have been for the last couple of months.
Okay, very well. Thank you.
Thanks, Vince. Next question, operator.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question or a comment, please press star and then 1 on your touch-tone telephone.
So, Roger, while we're waiting on the next question, getting signed up getting signed up, going into your website to join your database. Does a person, once they complete the application, they receive some type of notification that you are approved, you're added, or how does it work?
That's correct. Again, once the accurate completion is done, which includes a W-9 and different pieces of information, so we get you set up to be able to pay you,
right.
Understand your zip codes and your coverage and your experience and such, then the approval button is sent out to you.
Okay.
But I would encourage agents to look into depotpoint.com, ResNet, and Equator. Those are other ways. That way you're not just limited to our company, but you're also opening your opportunity to receive from others as well.
Sure. Okay, operator, let's take a final question, if any, remains on the line.
I'm showing no further questions, sir.
Okay.
Actually, somebody just queued up.
All right.
And that's an Alva.
Okay. We'll take Alva, and then we're going to move into our final comments.
Hi, this is Alva. The only comment I have is I really like when Reggie starts saying that it is very important that we bring our faith into our work and in our business. I have been doing that since I started doing the business, and I think it's working for me really good. But sometimes you feel that maybe not mentioning too much about that, and I was nervous. So you made my day, and I think I'm doing good.
Good for you. Good for you.